Hello everyone, Josh first back again, bringing you guys some more Elune, and today we're going to be talking about the legendary hero Medjed, which is of course a support hero. Now this, much like Alvita before her banner dropped, you could only find them through the stories. Go all the way down to the bottom and then you'll see them grayed out, click them, and then you can open up and check them out. That's kind of how we got to this point, in case some of you were wondering. So Magette will I was gonna say probably, but possibly, because I don't want to say, we don't know, we can't see the future, but Magette could possibly be dropping in their own banner and have their own events similar to Alvita, just by the simple fact that they're already in the hero stories and their stats and all their skills and everything like that are already revealed within the game, so they're already there. Now, the first thing that I want to point out before we start talking about Medjed's stats and skills and passes and stuff like that, I 100% feel that Sofia is superior to Medjed, and by quite a bit. And that's only for the fact that Sofia's skill set kind of helps relieve some of the pain and suffering that a lot of us have faced since the way nerf. And because of the fact that you could steal souls, give souls, it's a little bit ridiculous. And it also kind of makes me feel personally that Sofia might get changed up or nerfed in some way before she's released into the game, because she is not in the game at the moment where we can actually check her out for ourselves outside of that leaked video. So we don't know when Sofia is going to drop. We don't know if she's going to even come with those skill sets. So thus, maybe waiting around for her may not be in our best interest. I do not know. We don't know when she's going to drop, if she drops, or how she's going to drop, and if she's going to be the same when she drops. So there's a lot of different moving variables that we don't know the facts on, and it's kind of a little bit stressful, because on one hand, I'd rather have Sofia over Medjed, but then again, on the other hand, we don't know how Sofia is going to be introduced into the game, or if she's going to be the same as we know and love her right now. So, Medjed is where you're going to kind of possibly fill that void, because Medjed then potentially would be our first support hero banner, okay, and could be potentially our next banner that actually drops in the game. Sorry about that, my mic cut out. But anywho, so we'll have to sit there and really heavily consider, do we go for Medjed now if she does come very soon? I'm assuming she's a girl. She might be a guy, though. We know how traps are, but I'm pretty sure she's a girl. She has very feminine eyes. She has that hair, very feminine legs. I could be wrong, though. After playing Epic 7 for so many months and realizing the depths that they will go to making a male character look like a female character, I could be wrong. But I think Medjed's a female. But, anywho, so she could probably potentially be that void that's going to be filling that gap while we wait for Sofia, if we ever get Sofia, like I said. So, but I don't want to make this whole video about Sofia. I just want to kind of clarify where I'm coming from personally, my stance on the situation, because if Medjed is indeed the next banner, do you summon for her? Knowing that Sofia exists. She is a thing that is a part of the Elune society, the Elune universe, I should say. But it's also stressful because we don't know if Sofia is going to come into the game anytime soon, and if she's going to come with those types of skills and stats still intact. And that is just a problem for me, because I don't want to run too many support units on one team, and I don't want to summon for too many support units when seeds are still very scarce. So it's very problematic for me on how I want to debate and consider my options. So it's very difficult, and I know it's going to be difficult for a lot of you as well, but that's still not going to take away from the fact that Magette is still very, very good. Even if Sofia comes into the game guns blazing, with all the skills and stats that we already have seen leaked, even if she comes, Medjed's still going to be a good unit. Not as good as Sofia, obviously, but she's still going to be a good unit, and we're going to be going over her skills here in a moment. I just wanted to clarify all that information for you guys, because I know a lot of you are probably going to ask in the comment section, be like, hey, should we still summon for Medjed knowing that Sofia is a thing, or should we go for her and Sofia? I mean, these are definitely really good questions, and unfortunately, I cannot give you the actual answers to, because we can't see the future, and I don't know what's going to happen with Sofia. But I do highly believe Magette is going to be our next banner to come, because she's already in the game. We already saw her stats. We do not have a support legendary banner yet, or even a legendary hero that we can summon for in a banner, because Wei Wei and Nika are both units that you actually have to do physical farming for. Either got to farm PvP or you got to farm story quests. So there is no actual legendary support banner yet. And the only two legendary support heroes that could fill that role within a banner would be Medjed or Sofia, but I feel like since Medjed is already in the game, we already see her stats, it's already there for all of us players to check out, she's probably going to be the one that's coming first. So, here we go. We got all that out of the way. Whew, that was a mouthful. So, she has 44,000 HP. Very nice. She could be an off tank because of that high HP. And her physical and magical defense is also pretty decent. Around the 4,000s, mid 4,000s. Her attack is 7,700, which is also pretty good. I'd say about second or third tier on attack. And that's not second or third tier on support. That's just second or third tier attack for all units in the game. So, not bad. Her attack speed is also very good, 112. So, she's got really high speed, which is nice. It'll pair up well with Wei Wei. Let's go into the skills now. Skill 1, we're not going to talk about that because it doesn't directly correlate to anything that she can do. It's just pure damage, so it's whatever, and her skill gem 5% is ich. So, that brings us to our special, Harpy's Blessing. One ally, max it out. With help from Harpies, a sliver of divine authority has been bestowed. Cast Enhance buff on an ally that increases damage by almost 6% max HP, reduces damage received by 25% of attack, and increases healing received by 50% for 4 turns. So this would be very good for your frontliners or on an ally like Caroline that you don't want to be hit as hard and you want to heal her up as quickly as possible, because Caroline obviously doesn't work with Wei Wei's S2. So Caroline would be one of those good units that you'd want to put that on. You could also put that on one of your DPSs that has kind of lower attack, lower HP and lower defenses, so you want to try and make sure that they are always healed back up to full as much as possible. Or you can even use that on your frontliner to keep them alive for even longer to protect your entire back row. So whatever the situation dictates, that S2 is going to be very, very good, and it's only a 2 cost. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. It is a 2 cost skill, not a 4 cost skill, 2 cost. And with Wei Wei's new nerf, having lower cost skills on your S2s and S3s is actually really nice. There's really good synergy there. So, again, with all the Sofia talk out of the way, she's still going to be a good unit. And that is why I'm very split on what I want to do going forward, because I kind of want her now if she is going to be the next banner, but then I also want Sofia, but I don't want both of them. And if Sofia comes, I definitely want her over Medjed. So it's like, oh my, you know, man, I'm like, knowing that Sofia exists has ruined everything for me. It has ruined everything for me, because I was dead set on going hard for Medjed because she seemed like a really strong unit, and she still is. Man. But yes, that S2, very, very good. Low cost skill as well. Awesome. Now her ultimate, 6 cost skill. All enemies, so it's an AoE. Annihilating Laser, ultimate. Shoot a powerful burning laser from your eyes. Deals 1030 and then 149% attack, magical damage to all enemies, and cast Enhance buff that increases all resistance rates of all allies by 40% for 4 turns. And that, of course, is at max. Now, what makes that very interesting is Panda does a much better job, but he only does it to himself. He doesn't actually give you that resistance up for the rest of your party. However, the problem with this, though, is you're going to need 6 souls to be able to pull that off. And this is only going to be something that I would say would be useful in PvP. You really don't need all that resistance up for any other game mode at the moment. I'm not sure about the Mobius dungeon or anything like that yet, if that's going to be a thing. Maybe she'll be really good for that. If Mobius dungeons do a lot of crazy debuffing or whatever for your whole team, this might be very useful there. But at the moment, outside of PvP, this skill really isn't going to do all that much. And this is where she kind of falls a little bit under the microscope for me. And this is where I really want to analyze her, because it's nice to have all resistances up by 40% for 4 turns for all your heroes, which, you know, hopefully lessens the need of being debuffed. But then again, you have Panda, who just completely cleanses everything And the way PvP goes right now, you're not really going to be going for 4 more turns after a cleanse on Panda. Like, the game's going to be pretty much decided maybe 1 or 2 turns after that, maybe even on that turn. The game's pretty much going to be decided. PvP is too fast right now for something like that to really be necessary. And I don't mean to be very vague, or not vague, but very bold. But in my personal opinion, that skill sucks ass. I'm being 100% with you guys right now. Okay? Knowing what Sofia's, I know I keep bringing back Sofia, but I have to, because we know that she exists and she's also a support legendary. So we have to bring her in to compare, because these are 2 new support heroes, and you got to decide which one you really want to summon for. Even if Sofia comes a long time from now, is it worth going in and wasting your rubies, especially if you're a free to play on Medjed, knowing that Sofia does exist? Even if Sofia is even somewhat nerfed, she's still going to be doing some crazy things with the soul management that you're going to now have at your disposal, and you're going to be able to use that in all content of the game. This is a skill that I feel is only going to be good in one type of content, and that's PvP. And that's not even that great of a skill when you already have a Panda that can just cleanse everyone anyway for the same cost, and you get a heal out of it. So, I don't know. Her S2 is amazing. S3, I feel like it definitely falls short. But what does save her S3, and, you know, I'm not going to leave the video without mentioning this, will be her passive 3. But we're not that far yet. I just want to clarify where I'm personally coming from, what I think about her S3. I just don't feel like, as it is right now, it's that good. Obviously, that all resist up can lead into her S3 being very good, but I just don't think the resist rate is something that I'd really find important. I'd rather it be a heal. I'd rather it be a small... matter of fact, I'd actually rather it be a defense up for both your magic and physical defenses. I'd rather that's what it'd be, actually. Just a defense up for everyone for 4 turns would probably be better than all resist rate up. Because again, I mean, you got Panda, and you're going to be running Panda in PvP anyway. So it's just like, you know what I mean? And Panda's another, you know, support unit. So you're already talking about a lot of support units on one team. Now we have her passive 1. Routing 1. Possesses an absolute power that can fell anyone who dares disturb the Divine Eye. Receives a turn immediately after defeating an enemy. Attack is increased by 30% this turn. Again, she's not going to be going out there and just annihilating units. She's not going to be a big damage dealer. I mean, sure, if you get into a situation where you have an enemy very, very low on HP, and you can just, you know, just use her and pick them off, that's great. She gets an additional turn. But you still have to make sure you're doing soul management. Her S2, though, very helpful. I don't know. I'm just not... I don't know why they put an attack increase on a unit that's not built for doing any kind of DPS. I mean, her S3 is really weird to me, because she's not going to do very much damage. I mean, look at her multiplier. It's only 149% and 1030, and that's on a unit that has, I would say, 3rd tier damage. You know, 7700 at max, and of course that's before gear. But still, she's not gonna be your, you know, your damage dealing unit. You're not. You're gonna have other units like Chloe. You're gonna have your Eris. You're gonna have your Bones. You're gonna have your Arslan. You're gonna have your Balder. You're gonna run. You know, I think I already said Chloe. Let's say Chloe twice just because she's so good. She deserves to be mentioned more than once in a video. You know, you've got your Revi. I think I already said her too. You got your Michelle. Her AoE is really nice, and her single targets are really good if they crit. So she's a very good combo with Chloe. So, I mean, you have a lot of different options. I mean, even Mikazuki, for instance. I mean, you have a lot of better DPS options that people are using already. I just don't feel like you're going to be summoning Magette to be a damage dealer. So her passive 1 is kind of weird. I mean, the fact that it does give you an immediate 2nd turn, though, could be useful. But you have to destroy an enemy, though. That's the thing. it only works if you defeat an enemy. So it's not like something that you can abuse with the skip turn option. Like, oh, I'm going to use her S2 and then I'm going to get another turn and then spam and something. No, you can't do that. You have to use her S1 or S3 before you can get that free turn to do any kind of, you know, turn swap abuse or any kind of buff abuse. You're going to have to do some kind of damage to kill an enemy on an S1 or S3. And if her S3 costs 6 souls and you manage to kill somebody from that and then you get another turn, you know, depending on if you hit that +8 or that +16 on the soul gauge, you know, you're going to be left with little left to do much anything, even with that free additional turn, I guess. I mean, I guess you could swap over to a Chloe and then stun somebody. I mean, you could do something like that, you know, set that paralysis combo up. That could be something. But you have to destroy an enemy. That's the thing, though, you got to take from this. She's not a damage dealer, but her passive one only works if you kill something with her. That's the part that just drives me nuts. If it didn't require her to kill an enemy, just only attack it, or just or maybe if she does her S3, she can go again. Something like that would have been a much better passive for her. But making a support unit have to kill something to get a passive off just does not feel right with me. It feels very situational. I mean, sure, you could get it off and you could do some crazy cool combos with it perhaps, but how often and consistent is it going to work? You have to make sure that your team works like a well-oiled machine. Everything works, everything has its place, and everybody does their job and does it well, and you have really good team synergy. Is she going to become problematic when some of her passives are requiring her to do something that really is kind of outside of what she's meant to really be doing as a support unit? So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about that passive one, but it's, yeah, we've hung up on it too long. Passive 2, a body is there, but the eyes cannot see it. An existence is there, but none dare approach it. If there are at least 2 allies with more HP, you will not become a target of attacks or counterattacks. Now, that does not do anything against AoE. So this is another passive where people's gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, bro, man, I can't be targeted or counterattacked. That's awesome." Nah. Have you seen PvP? Have you been watching? Have you been paying attention to PvP? This passive ain't gonna do shit, because you have AoE units, Mikazuki, McCarthy, Balder, Revi, all nuking your ass in PvP right now. You're bound to run against at least 1 or 2 of those in almost every single team comp that you're playing against. Arslan, another one who can hit you with an S2. You can also be hit with the S3 from Reyna. So, I mean, you're talking about a majority of PvP right now is AoE heavy. Outside of Chloe. Chloe might be like the only unit that I see consistently that's for DPS, that's single target. You'll see Eris as well on occasion, but a majority of the attacks you're going to be hit with are going to be AoE. So, her passive 2 right now at the very moment in the meta is not going to be too groundbreaking. So, and you have to have 2 units on your team that have higher HP than her. So you're going to have to run a tank, at least 1, maybe 2, because again, she has really good HP. So you're going to have to purposely build her with lower HP to get that passive to even go off. So again, more situational things that you have to do to make her passives work. Her passives for 1 and 2 right now are just, they're so situational. And I know I sound like I'm being an absolute ass and I'm really playing down on Medjed so hard, but I'm just giving you guys the facts. I'm giving it to you 100% unbiased, just going in. And again, I like this unit. She's still very good. With all the bad, all the negative we're talking about, she's still really good. And the reason why she's really good is we're going to be getting to that on her passive 3. But I'm just trying to relay the information on how her team synergy may not be that great because of how just situational her passives are. How her S3 is set up to where it's only going to be good for 1 game mode. And you got to be very careful when you're talking about using up your seeds. Seeds are hard to come by. And are you going to put them into this type of unit? Are you going to pull for this unit using your rubies? I mean, these are things you got to consider. And that's why we're just breaking down every bit of her. down to, you know, the very molecules that make her entire character. That's a lie. I'm not going to break down. We're going to keep science out of this. All right. Now her passive 3. This is where she becomes a monster, potentially. With her passive 1, there are some combos that you could set up, but it's situational. S2, very situational. S3. I'm sorry, I said S1 and S2. I meant passive 1 and 2. My God, this video's been going on for so long, I'm losing track of not only time, but my mind. Passive 3 anyways, Osiris's gift. A part of Osiris's power has been granted to you, allowing you to bless the allies who stand beside you. Allies that fallen while holding Medjed's buff will be immediately revived with 30% of Medjed's max HP once Medjed receives a turn. Now, there is a positive and a negative to her S3. The negative thing is her S3, or I'm sorry, I keep saying S3. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm losing my mind here. Her passive 3 has a positive and a negative. The negative, we're going to get out of the way. So, the negative here is they're basically encouraging you to have her at very high HP, which then means your passive 2 may become obsolete anyways without it even being situational, because now you have to run her at very high HP to make sure that when you revive a unit, they're getting the most HP revived as possible, because it's based on 30% of her max HP. So if you try to purposely make her HP a little bit less so you can run 2 other units with higher HP to get her passive 2 off, now you're going to run into a problem with her S3 being more, being basically lackluster or less useful than it potentially could be. You're basically just reducing the potential of her S2 or her S3, depending. I keep saying S. Oh my God. Her oh man, guys. It's one of those days. Basically, you're reducing her passive 2 and her passive 3 depending on how you build her. So that's already just a negative. Like, that's already kind of like WTF. Because if you do build up her HP really high, you then have to run 2 other units with even higher HP for her passive 2 to even work at all, if it even does, which I don't find her passive 2 being important at all. If I was you guys, I would just build her HP as high as possible and just say screw her passive 2, because honestly, with all the AoEs in the meta right now in PvP, it doesn't even matter. She's still going to get hit. So it really doesn't even matter. I mean, you can't hit her with a Chloe, you know, S2. They can't just target you with that, or an S3, I guess. But what's it going to matter if 2 of your other units are just big tanks that can't even do any damage? So now you're running 3 units on your team that can't do damage. So if they do target one of your 2 DPSs, you're screwed. You know what I mean? So it's like, her passive 2, you might as well just pretend it doesn't exist, in my personal opinion. That's just the way I feel. And her passive 1, if it works, you get some cool combos off of it, great. But a lot of times, it's not going to work because you have to kill somebody with her, and she's not a damage dealer. So basically, that leaves her with her passive 3, ultimate, and special being the only things you're going to be using more often than anything else. So she's pretty much, in my opinion, just a 1 passive hero, which already kind of devalues her a bit. But the fact that her her passive 3 can be very well utilized in a lot of game modes, including PvP, makes her a little bit better than the first half of the video when we talked about her. Because in the first half of the video, I praised her for her special. Her special is very good. You could say her special is special, okay? It's a 2 cost, very low, very good, synergetic with the new nerf with Wei Wei. If you run a lot of corrupt sets, I mean, you're going to be even better off as well, because, you know, a 2 cost, and then you run Chloe with, you know, any cost you want for S2 and S3. You have a really good synergy right there. You got a really good soul management. But the fact that her passive 1 and passive 2 could be potentially useless, depending. Her ultimate not being as effective outside of anything but PvP, even though there's a unit that's already in the game that's an epic that I feel does that a little bit better, which is Panda, because Panda's passive pretty much protects himself, and then you can use his S3 and he completely resets the whole fight, because now your whole team's healed back up to full HP, pretty much, and they're all cleansed of any debuffs. The problem with Medjed is if you debuff her, or debuff any other units, she can't reset it. It's already there. Because she doesn't have a cleanse. It's just I don't know, guys. Again, I do like the unit. I know it doesn't sound like I do, but I do like the unit. Her S2 is very good. I would use her mostly for her S2 and her passive 3, to be honest. Because I would give a unit, I would use her S2 on a unit, and then I'd be able to revive them if they ever died, and we'd be okay. So it'd be kind of like a better combo than what Fabian, how you want to say his name, offers you. It'd be good in boss fights. It's a very low cost S2. Not bad. I could live with just using the S2 and the passive 3. That's what I could live off of. Now, the only good thing about her ultimate is if you use her ultimate on your whole team and in your, like, say 4 of your units die, next time it's her turn, she can revive everyone. But they'd only be revived 30%. And if the other team has any kind of turns left, they're probably just going to kill any of your units anyway. So, I don't know if using her S3 and then trying to abuse that passive because of that's going to work out too much. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's just... I'm trying to talk her up to be somewhat good, but it's like the more I'm explaining it to you, the less that I'm actually considering even pulling for her at all. Because, bro, just super situational. It's like she has 3 skills and 3 passes, but only 1 skill and 1 passive is going to be useful. With the way the current meta is, the way PvP is ran. Maybe if we get like a big overhaul in PvP and it's completely changed and slows down, then she might be even better. But as it stands right now, I don't know, guys. You guys let me know. What do you guys feel about Medjed? I'm sorry I kind of went in on her really hard, but I wanted to make sure that I'm giving you guys my personal take on it. Like, again, you guys can agree, disagree with me. Maybe you agree or disagree with half the things I said. I mean, whatever the reason is, let me know in the comment section below what you guys feel about Medjed. I feel like, personally, with the way the meta is right now in PvP and how useful she's going to be in all the other game modes available, there are probably better options available right now. You have Panda with that cleanse, AoE heal. He also has very high HP. He's also just an epic hero, so he's easier to obtain and get dupes for. Not having to waste rubies for him. You can get him much easier from Fusion. And he costs less even if you want to take him up from a 4 or 5 star to a 6 star. Because he isn't epic, so he uses less seeds. So you have all that to consider. He can also remove buffs with his S2. So I just feel like... And he's also a support unit. So... there you go. I don't know. It's a really weird unit. I love the S2 and I love the passive 3. And I know the whole combo is to use the ultimate, to use the passive 3 when need be. But what if Medjed's dead? What if Medjed dies? Then you can't revive anybody. And then that might be where a lot of people might say, well, then maybe actually Fabian is better in that regard, because then Fabian can actually survive an initial lethal hit and then still use his skill in revive or whatever. While with Medjed, if you kill Medjed before it's her turn, you can't use your passive 3. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. Her S2, I'm not going to lie, amazing. The S2 is very good. There's nothing I can dispute about that. There's nothing negative I can say about the S2. It's a low cost. It's only 2. It does a lot of things there. You get an enhanced buff, increases damage for that unit, reduces damage on that unit, and they get additional healing. But, damn. Damn. I don't know, guys. That's going to be it for me. Unless you wanted me to show... Actually, I'll just go and showcase the skills really quick just so you guys can see them in action. But, I mean, I pretty much broke down everything I could. I've even brought up other units to compare her to. I brought up, you know, team comps that you could throw her in. Some of the combos you could set up for PvP. Again, her S2 and it will be pretty decent for boss fights as well. So that S2 is very versatile. If you love her S2, and I mean absolutely love it, and you feel like you might be able to work around some of that passive issues into your team and try to set up to where it's not as situational, she might be a unit you might want to go for. But I don't know. I don't see it. Like, we're going to go ahead and max out her S3 real quick. I'll even take it up to level 7. Level 7 for 90s. Of course, you don't have no gear or nothing, but let me show you the skill right there. Oops, let me do that again. Sorry, let me take that down. There we go. Interesting. So she becomes Cyclops from Marvel. From what do you call it? I'm having a brain fart. X-Men. I can't think today, guys. My God, it's not a good day to think. I'm having a case of the Mondays, but on a Tuesday. So that was her special, and then this, of course, will be her skill 1 at level 7. And of course, I still have the theory that the level 7 skills will be available when we get the exclusive weapons. I feel like that's why the level 7s are available in the simulator. But then again, I could be wrong on that too, but we'll see. But yeah, that's her skills, guys. I don't know. I don't really know how I personally feel about Medjed now that I've actually explained to you guys. Before I made the video, I thought, you know, I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna go through every skill, but I'm still gonna make sure that I clarify that she's still a good unit. And I think I did that, but as I was explaining and going over situations and scenarios in my head while talking about it, the less and less and less excited and interested I was in the character. I don't know. But, I mean, again, her S2 is going to be great. Her passive 3 can be abused with her S3. But you have to keep her alive. If she dies before you can make use of that and revive people, then it's all a sham. It all just... And with how much AoE damage is being thrown around in PvP right now, her passive 2 is just, in my opinion, useless. And then if you make her HP too low, then her passive 3 is going to be less effective. So it's... So anyways, guys, that is my review for Medjed. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I personally feel like she already needs a buff before she even comes into the game. She already needs a buff, in my opinion. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoy. If you agree or disagree or have any other comments that you would like to make on the hero, let me know in the comment section below. Please subscribe for more here on the channel. Sorry, we kind of want like a long discussion, but I feel like I really wanted to, you know, clarify from my perspective what I felt about her, and then you guys can clarify from your perspectives below, which I'll be glad to read. And yeah, but anyways, again, subscribe if you're new, tick notifications so you guys don't miss an upload, and don't forget to join us in the Discord in the description below. As always, until next time, have an awesome day wherever you are. As always, peace.